Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. Today we are Saturday, May 14th, 2016. This is the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival weekend, which we're not at, as you can see.
No. And, of course, just as we start, a big truck goes by.
We needed the air from outside.
It's hot.
This is episode 159. I'd like to welcome any new and returning viewers. Who are you?
I'm Lynn, also known as Toll Baby. You can find us on Facebook. We have a group there. Our blog at twotangledskeins.com. YouTube, Twitter, our Ravelry group, and all three of us, the absentee Selma, we're all on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And what else? What else are we working on?
We're working on iTunes.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I think
WordPress is not cooperating.
But see, Leslie does it on WordPress, and I was following her instructions, and it just...
Well, I think... My tights are falling down. Sorry. All my clothes are too big.
She's all fancy for you guys.
I haven't lost a whole bunch of weight, but all my clothes are too big, so I don't know what's happening here. No, I wanted to say happy birthday to my Aunt Heather and to my sister-in-law Sue. Not that either one of them watches the podcast, but, you know, it's their birthday.
Putting it out there.
And yes, I hope that Mandy and Michael and Jessica and Jen are all having a fantabulous time at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. Jen has been posting pictures like a mad woman.
Boston Jen's there.
Oh, she was freaking out about that last night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, Boston Jen's coming!
And see, when we see Jen, it's like, hey.
She was like, I'm so intimidated. I don't know why I'm doing that, 'cause Jen does not talk like that at all.
Boston Jen is so down to earth, like...
Oh, she's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, the first time I met her...
Jen's stressed out because she's hosting the podcaster meetup, and yeah, there was...
The first time I met Jen, I was just a little bit intimidated, and I was like, oh, she's just a person.
I was terrified when I met Shannon. Because I was like, oh my god, I love you so much! Sorry. I love Shannon. Shannon's awesome.
That's okay.
Hey, sorry.
I fangirled when I got something in the mail, which will explain in stash. She's counting. Rabbits.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if that was actually a stitch or if it was missed.
Well, I can go first for FOs, so... The mighty foes.
Okay, well, you cheated.
I'm going to explain that. It is in the notes, as you will see.
Okay.
This is the Highland Peaks Worsted by Mina Phlipp, who is Mina86 on Ravelry. And I had problems with the lace. I started it 4 times, and it's not the pattern, Mina. It's not.
Oh, no, it's her.
It's me.
Her and
me and lace don't get along.
I don't know why she keeps doing it.
So, Selma pried it out of my hands and said, I'm going to finish this.
As she was balling it up in frustration.
She said that what happened was I started one of the repeats a row early. So my whole count was off. She had to rip it out. So this is the Highland Peaks shawl.
Wow.
It's huge.
I'm really hoping it's not alpaca.
Nope. This is by Mina Phlipp. And so,
oh, it's so pretty on the screen.
Isn't it?
I have to lean over to see it.
And I was really worried because it was like this big when it was done.
Yeah.
And I blocked the snot out of it. But it's gorgeous. So this was knit on 6mm, which is a US 10. Cascade Superwash in the cream and brown, and Dream and Color Sassy in this olivey green. And when Selma gave this to me because she's knitting a blanket for her son and she's using all Dream and Color Classy, and she's like, oh, that color just doesn't go. Well, while she was knitting it, she's like, man, why did I give that to her? So it's done. I brought it to work. I showed everybody. My boss oohed and awed over it and said, you need to put it on and model it.
So did you get a Selma model pic, like, all fancy?
No, I got a picture of it on the back of my chair.
Okay.
That's as far as that
I suppose that's acceptable. Yes, we're going to have to take a picture of my faux when we're done because I don't have one. It didn't occur to me to take a picture of it when I finished it this morning. Well, I can't say this morning because I finished it at 12:10
p.m.
No. This afternoon.
Okay.
So my faux is ginormous, and you're going to have to help me with this.
Oh, hang on. Let me put my knitting down.
That's your corner. I made a baby blanket. Tanya, look at Pico edging. I learned how to do that this morning.
Yeah, so it's like 3 deep.
Yes. 3 deep, 3 across. Well, 3 up, 3 down. Well, whatever.
But you had the squares done.
The squares, I had a big pile of squares that I did a couple of years ago. You guys might have remembered seeing blankets like this before that I've made. Mm-hmm. I crocheted a whole huge pile of squares for Project Linus blankets and stuff like that. And so when I was invited to a surprise baby shower tomorrow, I frantically went through I was like, well, I could knit a sweater, or I could do this, or wait, I have blanket squares. Because I was freaking out over what I was going to make, because I can't really afford to buy a present. So I went into my room, I picked out blanket squares, I came out, I was like, hey guys, on the VKN, do these look good together? And they were like, yes. So I was like, okay, and went to town. The yarn that I used to join them was some old acrylic stash from a friend of mine. I think it was Dara's, actually, because the balls were wound oblong.
Yeah, that's Dara.
She always wound her balls in ovals. I don't know how she did it, but they were always in these perfect little ovals. They were so cool. So I got to use one of those last night. And then I had 2 skeins of this teal, which is Red Heart Soft Touch in the forest green colorway, I think. Anyway, that's the only one that I can identify, because the rest is all scraps. I love that my sock monkey square is in this one. This is my favorite square that I've ever crocheted. It's the sock monkey one. Because it's gray, white, and red.
That's what the girls were talking about. Or was it you? I saw something about sock monkey in our Facebook chat.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm like, I don't...
That's
I can't keep up to the Facebook chat at work. I read bunches at a time.
So anyway, that's my faux. It's a baby blanket. I didn't follow any particular pattern. It's just full granny squares without the holes every however many stitches, and it is going to its recipient tomorrow. So that was my faux. I literally started this at 7 o'clock last night, thereabouts. Finished it at noon.
Of course, I put my project down, pick it up, there's a mistake, and I can't fix it while we're on camera.
I'm sorry. Hey, is that Hobbit Garden?
Ooh.
It looks like Hobbit Garden.
This is Hugh Loco.
Ooh. But it looks like Hobbit Garden.
I know, a little bit.
Huh. It's a brighter blue.
Yeah, and then there's a nice green that's going to be on the edge.
So, anyway, that's my phone.
Cool.
And ho.
Go for it.
Woohoo! This also falls into stash because I didn't have this skein when I saw you guys last week. But, we'll talk about that later. I need a sock! Sue had this skein of mustache that she didn't like the colors. And she's like, do you want it? And I'm like, yes. And then her cat got at it.
I got it because I was going to do the, what was it called, Yarn School with the Mustache group. And I didn't want to use the mustache that I had. So I got it in a trade or I bought it from somebody. And it just sat there. And I'm like, have you ever used mustache? No. Here you go.
And so, what was it, 2 nights before I came over, her cat got at it. And tore a couple of pieces out of it.
And then the night before.
And then she's like, I'm really sorry the cat got at it. Do you still want it? And I was like, yeah, fine, no problem. Then the cat got at it again.
And I don't know how. I swear.
She's like, I have no idea how I'm going to untangle this because I showed up last Saturday and she's like, this is the bag. And it was like all ratty yarn. But the skein ties were still in it. So I was like, I'll figure it out. And I brought it home. And because the skein ties were still in it, I could just grab those and stretch, and it just made a skein again. But I swear, your craft room floor must have been so damn clean last week, because every conceivable pet hair in your house was in that skein. Because the cat dragged it around the floor.
Put it this way.
My garbage can had a big lump of dog hair in it.
She had it all night.
Yeah.
I closed this door. And it was up there.
Yeah.
And
she managed to get in.
This is the cat who managed to open the cupboard where the garbage is. And her, Bonnie and Clyde is what they call them, Bella and Tasha, got at the kitchen garbage. This is a cat that will go up on the counter and open the corner cupboard that she knows we hide food in. Literally open it. Yeah.
So anyway, this is my plain vanilla sock.
How many stripes is it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
14 stripe repeat. And I managed to get 2 full repeats of the colorway.
Nice.
Because I started again on the first stripe from here.
That's kind of awesome.
So, the skein was broken up into a few little pieces. Fortunately, the biggest piece was enough for a pair of socks. Although, one of the smaller pieces also would have been enough for one sock. Because this is a 25-gram sock, and the smaller ball that I ended up with was 27 grams, so I would have been okay either way. And then there's a bunch of smaller balls that have become minis for people. So I'm sharing the wealth. So that is just a plain vanilla sock based on Stephanie Pearl-McPhee's sock recipe, A Good Plain Sock, out of the Knitting Rules book.
But you changed something.
I did change something. I did my first fish lips kiss heel ever.
Woohoo!
And I've discovered that I need to knit my foot about half an inch longer. Because it's a bit short.
With the fish lips, it does change.
It's a bit short. Well, I noticed that even with because I put on one of my heel flap socks afterwards, and I was like, yeah, foot is a little bit short. The heel kind of curls under my foot. So I really need to start knitting my socks longer. Because I usually...
You judge it by your hand.
I go by the Yarn Heartlets rule that from the heel of your hand to the top of your middle finger is the length of your foot after you finish the heel. Mm-hmm. Well, I usually get like this close and then go, oh, that's good enough. It's not good enough. I need to start making my heels longer. Done. I just want to finish it at that point. So, yeah, I finished my socks too soon. Anyway, this is Mustache Perfect Sock in the Around the Corner colorway. Mm-hmm. And I just basically did a 4x2 rib at the top. Then just knit plain after that. Because I just wanted the yarn to pop. And it does.
Your daughter's not going to steal them?
No, not if she values her life.
Okay.
She has her own damn pair of socks.
That are quite bright as well.
Yes, they are. So that's my hoe.
Cool.
And it was done on size 2.5 millimeter needles, which is US 1.5. And I'm going to have to yell at my boyfriend because there's a picky bit there.
Did you see you have your own section for your hoe?
Saw that. We're going to have to take a little bit of fine grain sandpaper. I didn't notice.
I hadn't put socks on them yet.
Yeah. I'll have to yell at him.
Okay. Don't show those yet. Over here.
That's stash.
Yes.
So, what you working on?
Whips and chains. I'm working on one thing. One thing. And it's new. And Selma, sorry, babe.
Actually, it's a good thing Selma's not here this week. Because I cast on all the things.
Yeah. I'm giving her a little of anxiety, and I really don't care. I was watching the Wet Coast Wolves podcast.
West Coast?
No, it's Wet.
Wet Coast?
Because they're in BC.
Yes.
So
it is the Wet Coast.
And Glenda, one of the hosts who owns the Wet Coast Wool store, was talking about process and product knitter, and she's like, no, Sue, you are a process knitter just like me. What I feel like knitting on is what I knit on. And Bernadette, the co-host, is like, no, I want a sweater and I want it now.
Which is Selma.
Yeah. So that's
I'm kind of both.
So I ordered some yarn that Hugh Loco had pre-orders up for because Mina designed a new shawl with her yarn, and it's called Budding Bluebells Shawl.
Are both those yarns from...
Yep. They're both from Hugh Loco. And, yeah, it's really nice, and I'm kind of addicted, and I can't stop, even though I didn't get a lot of knitting this week. I got this much done.
That's bigger than my Abigale.
For me, that's a lot. And, yeah, it's kind of addictive.
Because it's a slip stitch pattern?
There's slip stitches and there's different other elements. Like, yeah, like here. See what it does?
Yeah.
Can't divulge because it's a paid pattern. But I got it free because I ordered the yarn. And this is on size 4mm, which is a US 6, and it's the Hugh Loco sock in olive and gem. So this is the gem colorway.
Oh, you ordered the same colors as the...
I ordered the Mina colors. Yeah, these are Mina's colors, and then there was another set that was a different color, brown and something. Okay. But green. So that's all I've knit on. Pretty sad.
I've been busy. I apparently found my knitting mojo again.
I'll pass the torch and I'll sit back and knit. Or try and fix my mistake.
Yes, since she has to do the editing today, she's got to get her knitting in now. Usually when I'm editing, she's sitting here knitting, watching me do it.
Watching what she puts on the screen.
Or not, because most of the time you miss it.
I rewatched.
Oh, and somebody asked, one of our friends from here in town asked us if our podcast got hacked or something.
Was it episode 157?
It was 2 episodes ago. And we were talking about tracking somebody down, hunting them down, and I put the entire monologue from Liam Neeson from the movie Taken on the screen. And she's like, "Are you guys okay? Do you need help?" I was like, no.
And she's like,
me.
well, I'm like, no, that was Lynn.
That was me. Sorry. I figured somebody would get the joke, but yeah.
Not me. I'd watched that movie too, but I was like, I don't. Maybe.
And I'm not going to talk about the comment I got after last week's podcast. So I was offensive, apparently. You don't remember this?
Is this the email you got?
Well, it was a PM. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I was offensive, apparently.
We were some kind of family.
Yeah, that's okay.
You weren't offensive.
I know.
The fact that you're converting to...
Well, the fact that my rabbi makes that joke? Lighten up. Sorry. I'm not going to single anybody out, but lighten up. So anyway...
It's your podcast and you do what you want to.
Well, the other thing is, like, honestly, people are... sometimes people go out of their way to be offended about things, because it really wasn't offensive.
No. You were the big girl.
But anyway.
Oh, look at the sock.
Look at the sock. I passed the heel. So I was at the bottom of the heel flap last week, and I needed to frog back to turn the heel flap, and I literally needed to frog 2 rows.
And you procrastinated for 2 rows.
I procrastinated for like a week and a half because I was like, I have to frog and I don't want to.
Were you procrastinating?
I was. So anyway, I turned the heel, and it was successful and everything. And I did something a little bit different from my standard sock.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
That I need to do on Sean's.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't do heel flaps. Will it work with a short row?
It works with any gusset.
So explain. Because you guys can't see it.
So anyway, this is Rob's I'm Sorry About Vermont sock. It's a basic 3x2 rib. Based on, again, the sock recipe by Stephanie Pearl-McPhee. Do you notice I use that sock pattern a lot?
When it works?
It's not even a sock pattern. Honestly, she taught us how to take measurements, adapt the sock to our measurements, and basically just fly without a pattern. So I very rarely use a sock pattern. But when I did the rectangular socks for Teresa, our friend Teresa, who is T-Gale Designs, I liked the gusset decreases so much. I did them on this sock. So I'm not going to give anything away because it's a paid-for pattern, but
tilt it back a bit.
She does the decreases on the bottom, and then up here when she does ribbing, there's this nifty twisted stitch.
We'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, and so I decided to do that on Rob's socks, and we'll see if he likes it. I put it down because I did this on Saturday night because I was at the bottom of the heel flap, and I did all this on Saturday night. And then I untangled the mustache and cast on immediately. So I haven't actually touched this since last Saturday.
Sorry, Rob. Well, sorry, not sorry.
Because I had to knit this.
Now you understand the love for Stacy's yarn?
Addiction.
I have an OCD skein, and I can't wait to crack that baby open.
I did not have an OCD skein, but my socks are going to be OCD matchy-matchy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not OCD by any stretch of the imagination, but they
OCD
will be matchy.
I'm OCD enough for the 2 of us.
That's true. First time we went to Stitches.
I wasn't alone.
No, Carrie was just as bad. But
the week before, well, no, actually, this was.
They come up to me all excited, all excited, like at least 2 weeks before the festival, and they give me this printed out spreadsheet, and I'm like,
it was a map.
What is this?
Big map.
It was the map of the festival, like how the layout, the floor layout, the floor plan, highlighted and color coded. According to which vendors they wanted to see and in what order. They were like, we're going to enter the marketplace at this time. We have to go to this booth, and then we have to go to that booth. And if we have time, we go to that booth and that booth. And I was like, you guys are nuts.
That was only on the Thursday night. We beelined for Signature.
Erin Lane first. Erin Lane was first.
Oh, Erin Lane and then the Signature's booth.
And let me tell you, holy crap, they were not kidding about that list and the order in which we were going to do things.
And was like, I'll meet you somewhere.
I was like, I'm a wander. There's tables over there. Come see me when you're done.
Okay, but I haven't been that...
No, that was the only time that they were that bad.
Particular or anal?
Really, really anal. But yes, it was funny. So anyway, this is out of Regia 4-ply in color 44, which is gray, obviously. Regia is so creative with their color names. Of course, if they didn't just put numbers, it'd probably all be in German anyway, so...
True.
It doesn't matter what they call it.
You call it what you want. But when you go on Ravelry, is it color named?
No.
Sometimes they are. No. Okay.
So anyway, that's the I'm Sorry About Vermont socks, and they're also on 2.5 millimeters, which is US 1.5. I think I'm going to have to go down in my stitch count for my socks, because they're a little bit loose.
Okay, I'm tinking right now, and I'm not happy about it, so
put it down.
It's going away.
Put it down. Good girl. And that lives in my beautiful Tulip Festival bag. That's what I'm calling it now. From Mandypinecone of Mandypinecone Crafts podcast. And I love this bag. Isn't it pretty? Look at that. And it is Tulip Festival time. Mm-hmm. Not that I've been downtown or anything, but it's Tulip Festival time in Ottawa right now. And I'm also using this cute little rainbow polka dotty needle keeper.
He's pretty.
You're right, there was polka dotty fabric, like with little circles, but it wasn't quite this. Yeah, because when I brought the fabric to my mom's and I showed it to her, I was like, oh yeah, there is little polka dotty things. Because last week I was like, no, there isn't. I got a little bit of work done on my Mama Vertibrae, and I forgot to put a little dicky-do in, so I can't, and it's getting too long for the needle. This is the top. As I said, it's getting too long for the needle. So I was about...
I'm still stuck on the dicky-do.
Here last week. Well, Sarah says it.
Sarah's cool!
I like it. So I got, like, that much done. I did get a fair bit done. I can't remember what I was doing. One of the dogs just went ballistic out in the hallway. Scramble, scramble, scramble. When you got big dogs, scramble sounds like an avalanche.
Yep.
So I got about that much done from here down. And I'm still working on it. So I'm almost done the increases before separating for the sleeves. And it is going to be really nice and big and floofy. So I'm very happy. And that is the Mama Vertibrae by Kelly Brooker out of Bernadette Softy Chunky in the Fern colorway. Yes.
Go ahead.
On size 5.5 millimeter needles, which is US 9.
Kind of an informal knit along.
Yes. There's a bunch of us.
I'm not.
Apparently Jen, the uncreative crafter, is not knitting a Mama Vertibrae. We're trying to convince her. I don't remember who all's knitting one now. I know
Mandy.
Andrea, Mandy, Amanda, Brandy,
Tanya.
Tanya's gonna start a baby vertebrae.
Okay.
I can't
Sarah's
remember
not.
who all else is knitting one. Jess, I think, maybe. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I don't remember.
You'll get told.
I don't know. They all decided to start a knit along, and I was like, oh, Jen bought me that pattern for my birthday, so I'm gonna knit it too. So that's why I kept thinking Jen was making one, because she's the one who bought me the pattern. And that lives in, and the ball now finally just barely fits in my yarnet. It's still too big for me to actually be able to pull yarn from it in the yarnet. But it actually fits in the base now. I can't put the top on because it's a little bit too big, but yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the bigger one. Mm-hmm. And that lives in my beautiful Doctor Who bag from Brandy, who is Eat My Yarns on Ravelry. I love this bag. I especially like the inside fabric. I have other whips.
Go for it.
Good Lord.
I'm sitting and knitting.
I need to stop talking. I had intended on having this as a faux, and here I am mid-row. Well done.
Bad podcaster.
I know. Oh, and I dropped a stitch.
Ooh, not good.
Well, at least it was a knit stitch, and it's easy enough to pick up. So, this was supposed to be finished, but it's not. This is my Sidna Farley square, and I can't even show it to you because I'm mid-row. Am I? Yeah. Okay, we'll have to fix that. I can't even show you decently because it's all scrunched up. It's a knit and purl pattern, so you can kind of see it there. It's the Sidney Farley square from the Great American Afghan by Knitters Design Team, which is XRX Books, who also do Knitters Magazine. It is out of Knit Picks Bravo worsted, and it matches your shirt. In the Tranquil colorway on size 4.5 millimeters, which is US 7. Again, I had intended on having that as a faux today, but then
Squirrel.
Well, no, then the baby blanket happened.
Right. Because of the shower. So that was not your fault.
So, well, no, it was kind of necessary. So that is living in my Selma bag because it matches. Matchy, matchy.
Mm-hmm.
See, Sarah, you've been a bad influence.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya's been a bad influence this week. Sarah's been a bad influence. Jeez, guys. So that is that. I love the ties she made. She actually sewed fabric that matched the bag to make ties, and it's so fun. So anyway, that's another. And my last one. This is my sort of insanity this week. I cast on the Abigale Shawl by Rachel Paulsel. So there's not much to show you yet. There's a little bit of lace, but you can't really see. Hang on. There. You can kind of sort of see it there. The Abigale Shawl is it her first design?
No, she did a hat before.
Okay. But she recently, I think it was like 2-3 months ago, released this. Selma test knit it for her, I believe.
Yep.
It is a gorgeous, gorgeous shawl. And I've been wanting to cast it on since I saw Selma's. And Mandy of Mandypinecone Crafts bought me the pattern because I loved it so much.
No. What? I bought you the pattern.
Did you? I'm sorry. Sue bought me the pattern.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought it was Mandy. I get so confused.
Well, you were gushing about it, and I was just like,
yes,
gift.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sue bought me the pattern. Thank you, Sue.
Somebody
All I knew was that this week on the VKNs, I was knitting mostly stuff that other people had gifted me. So,
when she starts gushing about a pattern, I tend to just, here you go.
It's so pretty. And I didn't get a lot of work done on it because I was kind of obsessed with the sock.
Hard to put down, isn't it?
Yes. And I've had to hold off on casting on the second one just so I can get some other stuff done. Because otherwise I'd be like, I love that sock. So, yeah, the Abigale Shawl, which is, if you're searching for it, it's Abigale.
Yeah.
And it's the Abigale Shawl. You have to search with the.
Because if you search the other way,
you will find dozens of patterns and none of them will be it.
Which is kind of smart for her to do.
I thought so.
I mean, we don't know what the reference is, but...
So, it is by Rachel Paulsel, who is Night Owl Fibers, one of my favorite yarns. And this is, unfortunately, not out of her yarn because all the yarn that I have of hers is stripy, and I didn't think that would work. So, this is actually Bittersweet Woolery, Guilty Pleasures, in the Ash on My Tongue colorway.
Ooh.
I know, isn't it pretty?
Yeah. Very good pairing.
It was either going to be this or my blue one.
Right.
Bittersweet.
I've only got one of hers left.
So soft. I've got 7 skeins right now.
I'm kind of sad. Well, I'm knitting with 2 of them right now, but the variegated, I've only got 1, and I don't want to use it because then it'll be all gone.
Right. Tina, we need more yarn, lady.
We know you're not at shows, but make us some yarn.
We need more yarn. I haven't been on her website in the last couple of weeks, so I don't know if she's actually started selling again online, but Tina, we need yarn. Either that or you gotta tell me what this base is so I can dye my own.
Yeah.
And this is on a 4.4 millimeter needle, which is US 6, because the pattern calls for US 7. Do y'all know how many patterns I have on US 7s right now? How many projects?
Or 7.5.
I have no 7s left. There's no such thing as a 7.5.
4.5. Sorry. 4.5 is a 7, right? Okay. Yes. We have a lot.
Shh. All my 7.5s are used up, so I was like, oh, I can't cast it on, and Mandy was like, use the 6, and I was like, okay. So, yeah, and I love this needle. It's one of my Chagoos. Love it. It's got the best cable I have ever worked with.
I hate the cable.
I love them.
Sorry.
Because they don't twist around and they don't get all...
I like the fact
kinked
that they
and
do
stuff.
this.
I hate that. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. Best needle ever.
You and Selma both like the chow goose.
Yeah. I need to start buying myself some chow goose now because I love them so much. It's the first time I've really knit on something long term with them. I can't even remember where I got this. I must have bought it at Wabi Sabi.
Mm-hmm.
Because they sell them and I used to walk
I think
across
so.
the street.
You walked across the street because you needed a needle.
I do that a lot. Of course, the last time I walked across the street because I needed a needle, I ended up with Crystal Palace. They're bamboo
and I ended
needles.
up with sweater yarn.
Yeah, that's true. They're bamboo needles, and I really don't like knitting with wooden needles anymore. I used to love it, but now I can't stand it. So, anyway, babbling on for nothing, because holy crap, can I talk about nothing? Rob watches the podcast, and every now and then he's like, "Oh yeah, you can." That's all my whips. Oh, and sorry. It lives in my beautiful Marvel bag from Andrea, and this is hilarious because I used it as a purse the other day. I was going to the grocery store for a couple of things, and I didn't have time to... I didn't want to wear a jacket, and I didn't have any pockets, and I was just like, yeah, I'll just throw all that in there. So I had this, and the cashier went nuts. She loved this bag. She was like, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen. That's awesome. I love it. I said, you can't have it. It was made for me.
Mandy uses her wee knot bags as purses. God knows she has enough of them.
Sorry, I have yarn tangle happening.
But where was the bag? She was looking for it for a really long time.
For at least 3 months. So, yeah, I was looking for this for a really long time. Last weekend, Sue came out to my car. What were we looking for?
Cookies?
Oh, yeah, we were looking for the last pack of Oreos, which apparently my son ate, so there we are. We weren't going to find the Oreos in the trunk.
No biggie.
And Sue goes, what's this paper bag back here? And it had been underneath something else. And she
the way
pulls out this paper bag.
It was positioned so you could only see the bottom of the bag, so you wouldn't have known what's in it. And she was like, oh my god!
It was my
loom.
Pot holder loom that I bought at Rhinebeck last year, which I've also been looking for months. And that's my package from Andrea. So
It's been in there since Rhinebeck.
Well, since Christmas anyway. Probably since Rhinebeck, because I remember giving one of the mustache things that Andrea made me to my mom. But then I couldn't find the rest of the package. And I found it was in that bag.
You probably pulled it out of the trunk, got what you needed, and just threw it back in, not thinking about it.
It's been sitting in my trunk since October.
Very well preserved.
Of course, I still had cider bottles from Rhinebeck up until last week when I finally recycled them. Because I had kept all the recycling because there was no recycling at the cabin. And I kept all the stuff. So, yeah. We should move right along here because I've been waffling on for 15 minutes.
Okay, so that's whips?
That's whips.
And, yep. Let me turn
Sorry, I haven't installed the sounds on my new phone.
And the next thing is stash. And
you don't have any whips? Oh, you already talked about
my
whips.
whip. I only had one. So, stash. There's something on the top there for you.
I know. Well, first off, this is my first stash. My mustache. Yes, I belong on the Muppets, apparently. This is for me. I already know what it is. She showed me, but it's for me.
She still gets the packaging, even though it's going to crinkle a little bit.
I was going to say, you don't have to put the thank you sticker on, but I didn't pay for it or anything.
I don't care. Oh, that's it.
That's not mine.
Oh, crap.
You put the sticker on the wrong one. Sorry.
That's right.
That's not mine.
Never mind. Hide that. I'll put it back thingy.
That's Deb's.
Sorry, no.
This one's mine. Yes, this one's mine.
Here, do this. Sorry, I was in a hurry. There.
She made me a little notions pouch.
I tried to get the flower in the middle and get you the Eiffel Tower.
I love it. This is my sunflowers fabric that I brought back from Joann's in the States.
And I put interfacing. I hope you didn't mind.
I see that. It's very stiff and nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And it's got a nice little flat bottom. And it's got the yellow fabric on the inside, the mottled yellow that I had bought. Yep. So now I have a little notions pouch to go with my big sweater bag. And I'm sitting here with a skirt with my legs wide open because the table's right in the middle. I just realized
nobody else can see that.
I'm super ladylike today. I'm all dressed up and sitting like a lumberjack.
Okay, where's the pen?
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I need some more caffeine. I've had very little so far today. Not that much. Now you have a small taste of what it's like to be out with us at festivals, because we are this punch drunk.
This is us. We don't change for anybody.
That's it for me. How about you?
Oh, I've got a little bit of stash.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's like half a page here. It's all her. Sorry for opening your bag, Gab.
I may or may not have bought another set of stitch markers from Rabbit Ribbit Lamb.
That's my friend Sarah.
On Etsy.
Hi, Sarah.
I saw these jade ones after I bought the other green ones that I got. Malachite. Yeah. The other ones. And I kind of had to have these jade ones. Oh, let me take them out of the package. That just doesn't do it. I have a thing for jade.
They're so pretty.
Yep. So I got those. And I like it because she puts a sticker on the back. Oh, hopefully it'll focus. Probably not.
I got one for her.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yay!
There we go. Ha! So she puts what the stones are and what they are supposed to represent. Mm-hmm. I love her little logo. She designed that herself. She drew that herself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I needed to show this. Look at the writing on the envelope.
Sarah's an artist. Well, I don't want to really show that because that's where she lives.
Sorry.
But, yeah, she's an artist, and she does chalkboards for restaurants and stores and stuff, and I've already talked to her about designing my wedding invitations.
And then I got something in the mail. New sock blockers from Rob. And it is called Schwartz Craft.
Yes.
And I loved the packaging. They ain't gonna break in that packaging. 3 pieces of cardboard.
I know.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if you're going... It's really hard to see. There's dolphins. There you go.
Dolphins,
my name
in
dolphins.
a yin-yang sort of symbol. You can see them.
Yeah, because that's the tattoo I have. And my name.
I tried to find something as close to the tattoo that she has as possible. Mm-hmm. So, yep.
They're nice. I like them. The other thing we got... Our friend Kristen at Skein. I talked to her a while back. And she said she would donate a skein of yarn to give away.
You should have seen me. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm on Instagram because I was just going to bed. I always check out Instagram just before I go to bed. And she's like, she's been watching us for years. And I'm like, what? What? You never told me she watches us.
I actually did, but it's okay.
Probably. I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
She sent 4.
Guess which one you're keeping.
Yeah, Mandy said this is too pink for me.
Just a little bit.
So, is that Lily Pond? I think that's the one Selma wanted.
Okay. So
that's Lily Pond.
Oh my god, it's squishy.
Yeah, it's her top draw sock. This is called the Seaborn colorway.
That one's yours.
Yep.
What a shock. Sorry, there's some loud teenagers outside.
No, that's my son downstairs.
Oh, okay.
And this is
downstairs?
Yeah, the window's open.
Good lord. Tyler, be quiet.
Neon and gray. And then there is confetti. And Selma would have taken this, but it looks too much like something else that she has. So, take your pick.
I'm done.
One of them is for you guys. And now it's been down there.
Boy, am I glad I don't have bigger boobs, because holy crap, this would be hard. Excuse me.
So, one's this one. That's confetti. That's not it. That's it.
I will have to think about it.
Okay.
Because they're both awesome.
Well, my green is most likely going to go with something else I got in Stash, which is, I signed up with Curious Handmade, and it's basically a shawl course, but via online. And if you signed up, you got this pattern called Spindrift Shawl. And she uses Karen's yarn. Let's see if I can find another picture. There's another picture. Do a Mina. So squishy.
I already did.
I know. And there's another picture of it. Stop it! Child.
She had her arm out and I'm poking her in the armpit.
So that's a pattern I got, and I think I might do it with that green. Then I got some sewing patterns. I want to make myself... I have an insert in my purse, but it's just not doing what I need it to do. So I downloaded a pattern called Purse Organizer. That screaming is my son, and I'm really sorry. So that's
He's got
what it looks
headphones
like.
on, so he can't hear us yelling at him to shut up.
How do you think I feel on Fridays when they're both on?
I could just bang the floor. I do that at my parents' house to call my kids up.
So that's a purse organizer. Then I downloaded this a while back and I haven't made it. And is there a bigger? Yeah, there's bigger pictures. It's called a 1 hour basket. You can use it for almost anything. But I saw one, it's a paid pattern, exactly like this, but with a divider in the middle. See what I put up with? And last but not least, I downloaded a pajama pattern.
Hey, you can wear your PJs for the PJ party.
We never go to the PJ party.
I know.
'Cause
Well, maybe if Amanda and Rachel are staying in that hotel, we will.
Maybe. We never go because we're too far away.
Some of our friends are coming to Stitches.
So, wait, who's coming now?
I think Amanda, Rachel, I don't know if anybody else is.
Okay.
I know Sarah's not coming.
And the other thing was stash from last week. The fabric that Selma gave me.
So
I made a really tall bag with canvas on the bottom and a nice bright green. It actually matches. And yes, I made ties out of fabric too. It's so easy to make.
I think those are my favorites now. The fabric ones on Selma's bag.
It's so easy to make. You're folding, yeah, it's just folding, and then a top stitch across. Easy peasy. Did you pick one?
Not yet. What do you think? Actually, what I'm tempted to do, because are we going to use this for the sock club? Or
Probably.
What I'm tempted to do is if we don't use it for that.
Well, we've got one we just got last week for that.
I don't know.
Do you need to leave them here and think about it? I knew you'd pick that one. I was like, she's going for the one with green. So one of you will get this skein somehow in some kind of contest that we do.
Unless I change my mind. Because I like both of them.
No bets are off.
I like this one.
It's the little green specks. I almost picked that one too, but...
It's very rhubarby.
It's not the pink that's in my socks on a plane.
No,
right? That's
not
what
the
kind
same
of...
thing. That's an ash rosy type
Yeah,
pink.
that's what I like, so...
It reminds me of my skein of String Theory, which is black with these 3 neon colors.
So thank you, Kristen. We really appreciate it.
So much!
Like my daughter said, she wants me to play your podcast so she can listen to you talk. Kind of weird. Kind of.
You should play Sally Jane for her. Watch it blow her mind. Sally Jane's from South Africa, so very different accent.
Then we have Mina from...
Well, she's British. But she lives in Bahrain. Got Bakery Bears, who have very different accents.
Little Bobbins.
I don't know. That's about all I listen to. Who's the Scottish one?
That's
Orange
Helen.
Something or other?
That's Helen. Orange Maid. She's
Sorry. I forget screen names.
Sprite 966 or 866. Anyways, her name is Orange Maid. Her Rav name is Orange Maid. Her name is Helen. She's Scottish.
Very Scottish. I love watching her podcast because I love that accent.
If you want to watch her podcast, you need to have nothing else on. I've been watching it so long that I can understand you now, Helen. But at first I was like, what'd she say?
If you're not used to a Scottish accent, because let me tell you, when you see a Scottish accent, like when you see David Tennant giving interviews and stuff like that, he's very careful to enunciate properly. Not properly, but, he's very careful to make sure that he's understood and blah, blah, blah. You talk to a Scottish person on the street, And they're just like, what?
I'm really sorry.
It took me a long time.
Screaming.
Yeah,
child.
it sounds like people are being murdered in the basement, but it's really just the teenager playing video games.
So I think we're done.
Fortunately, most of the profanity is not coming through. It's really just ah.
Yeah. When he's playing on a Friday night. My husband's in another room in the basement playing on a Friday night.
All she hears is screaming and swearing.
So I literally have to message my husband going, dude, I can hear you. And last night my husband got schooled by my daughter. His computer room is right beside her bedroom. She had to work this morning.
Oh.
So at 9 o'clock, she sent a message going, I am trying to sleep. Can you please be quiet? So
my teenager has learned to keep it down at my house. At his father's house, he'll scream all he
the
wants.
funny part is...
But at my house, because we're VKNing, everybody can hear him clearly. And I'm like, would you please watch the language? We have strangers on tonight.
Well, and the funniest part is my husband plays online with a bunch of local friends and some other people from around. And they were making fun of him because after he was told to be quiet, he kept going, like he wasn't...
That's awesome.
Yeah. So now we're really, really, really rambling.
Yeah, pretty much. We should stop now. 45 minutes. That's pretty good.
So have a great weekend. You are here next weekend for the long weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
And we might have special guests next week. Of the tiny, tiny variety.
Yeah. We'll see if we can manage to get them on.
Well, we should be able to get a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So have a good week and happy crafting. Bye.
Bye.